All right. Hi, everyone. I am Andrew, aka the Evil Philosophy Bro, for the purposes of this video, and I'm going to continue in my series in the Hindu philosophy book called Sadhana, The Realization of Life, which is by Rabindranath Tagore, if that's how you pronounce his name. I remembered that today. I didn't remember last time. So this is basically about these few paragraphs I'm going to read to you are about the problem of evil and essentially his belief that evil is necessary. So let's get into the quote here. All right, the problem of evil. The question why there is evil in existence is the same as why there is imperfection, or in other words, why there is creation at all. We must take it for granted that it could not be otherwise. See, obviously, I don't think we must take it for granted. This is like he's just getting that from nowhere. This is just his belief, and as I often point out, it just sounds like a Kantian style uh, synthetic a priori claim, meaning that it's essentially a faith claim and it's just taken for granted, like he literally said that it must take it for granted that it could not be otherwise. Anyway, we must take it for granted that it could not be otherwise, that creation must be imperfect, must be gradual, and that it is futile to ask the question, why are we? Now, I don't like that because, of course, my channel is called Philosophy Bro, so I love philosophy. So I love to ask the question, why are we? Why is there existence? Why do humans exist? Why does existence exist? Is there anything moral about it, or like what is the story with that? And he goes on to explain that a little more here. Okay, but this is the real question we ought to ask. Is this imperfection the final truth? Is evil absolute and ultimate? So it seems like he's saying it's necessary, but we can fight it. Maybe we can defeat evil, perhaps, which is interesting. It seems like it's inevitable currently, but it doesn't necessarily have to be inevitable, right? Which I think is a good and inspiring idea. All right. So we have to ask: is this perfection the final truth? Is evil absolute and ultimate? So he goes into a bunch of metaphors here. Oh, well, no, an extending metaphor. The river has its boundaries, its banks, but is a river all banks? So I think he's saying there the like morality has has boundaries, like the good aspect of morality has banks, uh banks of evil, I would say, is that's what it seems like he's trying to say with the metaphor there, in terms of the river and the banks of it, at least specifically. So river has its boundaries, its banks, but it is a river all banks? Or are the banks the final facts about the river? So do like I think this is similar to what he was asking before. Is that in that, are the banks of the river inevitable? Are they the final facts? That's what he's saying. These facts can change. So it's not necessary. Like I said, it seems like it's evil is inevitable now, he's saying, but it doesn't have to be. Perhaps we can even defeat evil. Perhaps evil doesn't have to be necessary. So obviously that would be tremendously good. All right, so let me see here. Okay, so, or are the banks the final facts about the river? Do not these obstructions themselves give its water an onward motion? See, I like this here. That's why I I like this. I like this notion in general that evil is necessary, even though I think that's not necessary. I don't think it's necessarily true that evil is necessary. But I like it. I like this because he's saying, do not these obstructions themselves give its water an onward motion? So yeah, I think that means I was correct about the banks being a metaphor for evil. Do not these obstructions themselves give its water an onward motion? So the banks stop the flow of the river I think he means the onward, forward flow of positivity, perhaps. But these evil obstructions of evil give the water its onward motion. So these evil acts are necessary because they allow for the positive acts of the universe to continue and keep existence going on, and because existence wouldn't exist without these evil acts to propel forward all the positivity and the continuation of the universe itself. Okay, not these obstructions themselves give its water an onward motion. I like that because, it's the idea that evil and good are both necessary, because it's also the case that you wouldn't be able to recognize the bad without the existence of the good, and you wouldn't be able to recognize the existence of the good without the existence of the bad, right? This is an age-old question that people have been talking about for literally uh, thousands of years. It's like, if everything was all bad, then you wouldn't know what good is. If everything were all good, then wouldn't know what evil is, right? Anyway, let's get to the end of this here. Okay. Do these obstructions themselves give its water an onward motion? The towing rope binds a boat, but is the bondage its meaning? That's a good point too. The towing rope binds the boat. Is the bondage its meaning? That's a good question. If he's saying the evil binds the boat, but is the bondage its meaning? I think he's saying, is the bondage the meaning of the towing rope? Like, is evil necessarily is to the moral good? I think that that's interesting. Like I was saying, it seems like he's saying maybe evil is inevitable, but maybe it isn't. Like, he's saying it's currently inevitable, but maybe it can become not inevitable. In which case, does that actually mean it's inevitable? Or maybe he's asking whether it actually is inevitable. Maybe that's up in the air. It's interesting. The towing rope binds a boat, but is the bondage its meaning? So the evil is attached to the good, but the evil being attached is not its meaning. It's not an aspect of its existence. That makes sense, because you have to tie the towing rope to the boat, right? It's not just an inherent part of the boat. I like that too. Okay, but is the bondage its meaning? Does it not at the same time draw the boat forward? Right, like I was saying, the the bondage is not the meaning of the towing rope, and also the the towing rope binds the boat, but it helps draw the boat forward too, because you can use it not just to hold the boat in place with the evil acts, metaphorically speaking, but and not to prevent it from moving forward, to prevent the progress of the universe, but the the towing rope can also help draw the boat forward, as he says. So these evil acts that can stop you and hold you back, they also can help propel you forward. So the evil things that happen in existence can help put forward the moral goodness of the universe and the continuation of existence itself. All right, so yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that little section there. I hope you enjoyed my continuation of this series on the book in Hindu philosophy called Sadhana, The Realization of Life, by Rabindranath Tagore, a famous Hindu philosopher, famous dead Hindu philosopher, like a lot of the philosophers I talk about. And yeah, look forward to more videos on this. Check out my previous one in this series about the Hindu term or word Brahma, which means, as I said in the video, the infinite conscious spirit. So check that out as well, and check out future videos on this, and check out my last video, which was a clip from my podcast with the author of a biography on Derrida called An Event Perhaps. The author is Peter Salmon. and I did a podcast with him a while ago, and this is a clip from that in which I'm talking about how the awesome actor Stephen Fry recommended Peter Salmon's book to Jordan Peterson. So hopefully Jordan Peterson will actually read it and become more correct. But it's been a while, so he probably hasn't, and I unfortunately doubt that he has read it. But anyway, that's a good clip. So check that out, and yeah, check out my next one will be another clip that'll be just like a short 30-second or so clip from one of my videos on the professional mangler of philosophy and more and former mathematician James Lindsay's book with Helen Pluckrose, the journalist, called Cynical Theories, and I'm criticizing one of the chapters in which they're making the claim that queer theory is literally Maoist and postmodernist, and this clip is just me reacting to them making the claim that queer theory does not value logic. In fact, it values illogic. So check out that upcoming clip as well. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. A lot of people watch the videos but don't subscribe, so please do so. Smash the like button, make sweet love to it, elbow drop it, whatever you want to do as long as you press it. Uh, Click that bell to be notified when I come out with new videos. I think I already said that. Check out the link for my Patreon page. The link is in the description as always, of course. And most importantly, of course, always remember this: the funk cures all, and groove is in the heart, and philosophy is awesome, and and also the problem of evil is fascinating. Think about it. Do you think that evil is necessary? Do you think that evil can allow the good to happen and can allow the universe to continue propelling itself forward? Do you think that evil is inevitable? Do you think that it's possible that we can defeat evil and it doesn't need to be inevitable? Yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments. And thanks again, everyone. And adios until next time.